Namaskaram friends, you are most welcome. In the year 2008, the skies over Bengaluru witnessed a historic moment that changed the trajectory of Indian aviation forever. The day India took flight. The Tejas 2008 breakthrough recounts the critical flight test of the indigenously developed light combat aircraft LCA. Today we know this aircraft as Tejas. This wasn't just another test flight, it was a definitive turning point for India's self reliance in advanced defense technology. From drawing board of the Aeronautical Development Agency ADA to the hangars of Hall, we look back at the immense engineering effort, the technical challenges overcome, and the sheer grit required to build a world class fighter from the ground up. Let's go and explore this further. There is a specific sound that defines a nation's ambition. It is the roar of the jet engine. Not one bought from the foreign power, not one assembled from imported kits, but one forged right here in the heart of India. For decades, India relied on others to protect our skies, from the MiG of the Soviet era to the Jaguars and Mirages of Europe. Our defense was a patchwork of global technology. But in 2008, the narrative shifted. We aren't just talking about a flight test, we are talking about the psychological barrier being broken here. So, friends, if you have reached this far, please let us know from which city you have tuned in and which language you're watching this video. This will help us determine the reach of our channel. All right, let's proceed further. Today we are looking at the Tejas 2008 breakthrough. Why does this specific year matter so much in the history of light combat aircraft? And what does it mean for the India's journey towards true Atmanirbharta or self-reliance? Let's dive in. To understand the victory of 2008, you have to understand the frustration that came before it. The Light Combat Aircraft program was sanctioned in 1983. Its goal to replace aging MiG 21 fleet. But this was a small task. We were trying to design a delta wing supersonic fighter that could hold its own in modern combat. And then came the 1990s, following the Pokhran 2 nuclear test in the year 1998. India faced severe sanctions. Crucial software and material was suddenly cut off. The world expected the project to collapse. Instead, Indian scientists and the engineers, brilliant mind at DRDO, ADA, and HAL, did something extraordinary. They did not just find a workaround, they developed their own. That pressure cooker environment in the 90s is exactly why the 2008 progress was so significant. It wasn't just good enough, it was testament to the fact that when India is pushed, India pushes back with innovation. So, why focus on 2008? It wasn't the first flight that happened in 2001. 2008 was a year of maturation. It was a year we transitioned from a proof of concept to a weapon system. In 2008, the Tejas program hits critical milestone in high altitude testing and weapons integration. This was a year the platform began proving that its fly-by-wire system, one of the most complex flight control system in the world, was not just functional but also reliable. Think about what that means. A fly-by-wire system is basically a computer acting as the pilot's brain. It interprets the pilot's inputs and make thousands of micro adjustments per second to keep the jet stable. When our pilot took the Tejas up in 2008, they weren't just flying a plane, they were validating an entire digital architecture built by Indian engineers. In 2008, breakthrough sent a shockwave through the global defense industry. It signaled that India was no longer just a buyer, we were now a developer of weapon system. This success brought several key advantages. Number one, composite mastery. The Tejas uses carbon fiber composites for its structure. This made the jet incredibly light and strong, giving it an edge in the maneuverability that surprised the international observers. Number two, The intellectual property right. By owning the design, we aren't at the mercy of the foreign vendors for upgrades. If we needed a software patch, we wrote it. If we needed a hardware change, we engineered it. Number three is the psychological shift. It proved to the next generation of engineers that a made in India fighter jet wasn't a pipe dream. It was a reality sitting on the tarmac in Bengaluru. In the year 2008, confidence is the direct ancestor of what we see today. The Tejas MK1A, the upcoming MK2, the TED BF, all of these programs trace their DNA back to the grit shown in 2008. When we look back at the photos of the footage from that era, we see a team of people who were tired, stressed, but absolutely elated. They knew they had achieved something that until that point only handful of nations on earth could claim. The ability to design the fly an advanced fourth generation plus fighter jet is now India was a member of that elite group. The Tejas isn't perfect. No fighter jet in its early stage is, but its story is one of the persistence. It's a story of how a nation decided that its security was too important to be left to someone else. So, next time when you see Tejas soaring through the skies during an air show, remember you're not just looking at the machine, you're looking at the result of thousands of hours of late night coding, structural testing, and the refusal to quit until 2008. So, friends, what do you think is most impressive feature of Tejas? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Indian aviation history, hit that like button, subscribe the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss out our next breakdown. I am CK, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Jai Hind.